there, this is Mary Humphrey of Mary Humphrey Coaching. Today we're talking about moving on, letting go of the past. And I'm not referring to letting go of people. I'm talking about letting go of things such as jobs, homes, farms, businesses. You know, it seems as though those things might be easier to let go of, but sometimes our whole entire identity feels as though it's wrapped around these things. And it leaves it very hard to step away from. Now, I want to interject here that what you do is not who you are. Who you are is how you behave in life and your core values and what you believe in. That is who you are. It has nothing to do with where you live. It has nothing to do with the business that you operate. I'm going to use an example of myself, an entrepreneur. I owned a soap making business. I made soap from the goat's milk that I milked myself. And after putting many laborious hours into this business and after connecting with a ton of people, I ended up realizing that as we came to a pass in our life, my life with my husband, that we had to move on. We had to give it up. We had to move on to bigger and better dreams. But it was difficult. Because when I parted from that business, I realized that I put who I was into that business. That business created in my head, my mind, without me realizing it, I had created my self-worth in that business. So when it came time to let go, that foot that I was dragging slowed down my progressing with the inspirations that I was seeing in my future. In fact, at times it just stopped it in its tracks. It is not easy to let go. It certainly is far from being easy. So the lifeblood that should have gone to the present and to the future was still in the past. It was like a clogged artery. It was killing me. And what would have pumped fresh oxygen into my life and into driving me towards doing a new thing, the oxygen just wasn't available. It's similar to grieving. You know, when you miss these things that you feel like made up who you were, you grieve over them at the worst times. You don't even realize when it's going to happen. One day you're doing fine, the next day you're like, oh my goodness, I miss all of that. Where did it go? And oh my goodness, I can't be me because that's no longer a part of me. And what we often fail to realize is that who we are today does contain a chunk of our past. And we're never going to be able to let that go because the lessons that we've learned, the good things that we have experienced, the fun, the joys, and even the bad part of what we've experienced is part of who we are today. It's all a learning experience. It's all growth experience. It's professional and it's personal growth. We can't go back and erase that from ourselves. But in order to move forward, we have to let it go. These past celebrations that we had, they really do enhance us. And that's our concentration. What has enhanced us today? I'm going to give you an example. Someone that's grieving and they're in the midst of the process, they may pray to God, Lord, help me take this pain and use it to help others. So what can you take from your past to use today, even though what you're doing today isn't the past? So we can't drop out of the present because we're still loyal to our past. We have to be loyal to us. We have to be loyal to who we are. And that will change through our lives. It changes constantly. It changes by the moment. It changes by the hour. And sometimes it changes by the year. But it changes. It changes when we're not even aware of it changing. So what we need to do is focus on flourishing today, flourishing in the now. What part of the past is in us that helps us flourish today? Are you holding on to anything from the past that drags its feet and does not let you be who you are today and be what you want to be today? I believe in journaling. I believe that just putting our thoughts out on paper is extremely therapeutic. Bullet point where you are today, where you want to be tomorrow, and bullet point what you think might hold you back from moving forward. Prayer journal is also a very wonderful mental health tool. When you pray, you release your emotions, you release where you think you've failed. You release it all and you ask for help. And sometimes in the midst of that asking for help, asking for wisdom, asking for discernment, your eyes become wide open to where you need to be today and what you need to do to get there. And you stop fearing and you stop pining for the past. So I'm going to read to you one of the comments that was left on this blog. You make some really good points. I'm in transition myself, looking at the past but focusing on the future. This past leads to the present, which takes us to the future. Yes, I see it all much clearer now. Thanks for your reminder that we should do this. We all deal with this, and sometimes it's really difficult. But what you do in life is not who you are. What you've done in your past is not going to cripple you today, but you can't hang on to the past in grievance, because that will keep you from moving forward today. Occasionally, you're going to grieve for it. Occasionally, you're going to say, I don't feel like I'm that person anymore. Well, when God comes along and says shift and says pivot, He doesn't want you to be that person anymore. He wants you to learn from it, and He wants you to move on. It's hard. It really is. It's hard when you're told to shift, and you know that you should shift, but you don't want to. It's hard to recognize who you are when you've put every effort and every moment and every ounce of your energy into what you're doing. But you have to let go. If you found this video helpful, please share it. Please hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And sharing is definitely caring in this world. I think that social media is such a good thing, yet it can be a bad thing, but it's a good thing because we can always help others through these connections. So take care. Have a great day.